Okie dokie. Make sure you get your name on here. That's been happening sometimes. No name. Welcome to Unit 3, Part 2, Video Notes. We're starting percentages. A percent is a rate per 100. So it's always being compared to 100. If we look at the double number line, you're noticing that $10 and our 100% are aligned. When they say aligned, they go together, right? That's our ratio, our equivalent ratio. We can see $5 is 50% or half of our 10. $10 is our total. $12.50 is 125. The way we can find that is if I go all the way to my 25%, that would be divided by 4 because there's 4 25s and 100. So this would be divided by 4. So if I want 125%, I have my original $10. I'm counting by 250, and that gets me right here. Percent means for each 100, the symbol for percent is this. Now, most of us recognize that that kind of looks like 100%, or kind of looks like 100. And that's why it represents 2 zeros in the line represent 100. Percentage is a rate per 100. We could also call it a ratio. So what if we are thinking of money? American money, $1 is equivalent to 100 cents or 100 pennies. So it's easy to use to think about percents. So let's think about our parts. A penny is 1 cent. If you don't remember, a nickel is 5 cents. A dime is 10 cents. And a quarter is 25 cents. Remember, your dollar sign goes to the left of the monies or the numerals, and the cent sign is on the right. So if I have 4 dimes, figure out what percent that would be. So 4 dimes, 4 times 10 is 40, and we're saying it's 40 cents out of 100 cents. That is 40%. 1 nickel and 3 pennies. Well, a nickel is 5 plus 3, so that's 8. 8 out of 100 is 8%. And if there was you could put a 0 if there's a space. 5 quarters and 1 dime. Well, 25 cents, 5 times, so 25, 50, 75, $1, $1.25. Plus 10 cents, I'm writing my decimals, would be $1.35, except I'm talking about pennies, so it'd really be 135 pennies. So 135 out of 100. So it's more than our whole. It's more than our whole dollar. So this is 135%, so more than 100%. We're going to use the double number line to find the parts of 50. I want you to do this. Think about, you already know what you're counting by on the bottom. You know what you're counting by in the top. So this would be 50%, 75%. This would be 150%. 1250 plus 1250. If you don't know, use your calculator. But it would be 1250 times 2, which is 25. And then another 1250, so 35 plus 2, 3750. And then we would have 75. And that's all money. All right, lesson 11. Too much stuff on my desk. We can use our double number line to help us with percentages. For example, what is 30% of 50 pounds. So you should notice between the 0 and the 100, there should be 10 spots. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So if they divided by 10, these are all counting by tens. There's my 10%, 20, 30, 40. That means you would also do the same with the top. So we are going to divide the distance between 0 and 100 and the distance between 0 and 50 into 10 equal sized parts. So what is 50 divided by 10? Well, 50 divided by 10, that would be 5. So we label the tick marks on the top line by counting by 5s. 5, 10, 15. And the bottom by counting by 10s, because 100 divided by 10, 10, 20, 30, etc. Counting by 10%. We can then see that 30% of 50 pounds is, I like to use this, is 15 pounds. You could do the same with your table. I can go to 10%, which is my 1/10, which is 5. 10 times 3 is 30. 5 times 3 is 15. All right, what if we know a number more than 100%? We can still use our double number line. I have decided to go from 140% back to the original 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. I'm going to cut it into 14 equal pieces because there's 14 tick marks. So divide by 14. Now you should recognize 140 and 14 both have 14. I can do it on the calculator for you. 140 divided by 14 equals 10. So it's going by 10% again. So 10, 20, 30, etc. And the top line has to be divided by 14 also. 28 divided by 14 is 2. So the top line is counting by 2s. 2, 4, 6. So you could see 20, that 100% is 20. So if we get all the way to here, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. Or I could say that's 10 marks away, 2 times 10, because that's 10 marks away, times 10, times 10. They also do this one on the table. I think this table is a little more confusing. We get divide by 2, 14, we get 2, 140 divided by 14 should be 10. So I think they made a typo right there. That's why it looks confusing. And then times 10 times 10. There you go. I think I might sneeze. So here's your practice problem. 40% is your total. Where does that go on your double number line? And then you're trying to find the 25%. So 40% is here. You need to figure out what this number is. How many 25s are in 100? Divide by 4. 4 times 25 equal 100. It's something you really need to memorize. 4 quarters and a dollar. 5 times 20 is 100, because a lot of times we'll count by 20s. And then 10 times 10 equals 100. Things to memorize. So divide by 4, which means we're counting by 10, 20, 30. So 25% is she made 10 free throws. And lesson 12. I'm trying to do these faster. The first ones I did were pretty slow. I'm not even going to go through the lesson 12 where we do the tape diagram with the little squares. There's only one lesson in the book and we skipped that lesson. But I want you to do the problems, and you can do the problems the same way we did before with the double number line. A bakery has 40 different types of muffins. That would be our total, or our whole. 25% are chocolate. So how many are chocolate? And how many don't? The longer you make it, the more space you have. I always do percent on the bottom. Here's my 100. Here's my 40. If I need 25s, I need to remember how many 25s are in 100. 25 times 4 equals 100. So I would have 4 spots. Divide by 4. So this is 25%. So this is divide by 4, which is 10. 10 are chocolate. And how much are not chocolate? Well, if our total is 40, 10 are chocolate, that means 30 are not chocolate. There are 70 students in the school band. 40% are 6th, 20 are 7th, the rest are 8th. Do we know our total? Yes. You notice it always starts the same way. 40s and 20s, I could cut it into 20s. I could cut it into 10s. 20s are easier. You don't have to do as many. 20 times what number equals 100? Well, you could count 20, 40, 60, 80, 100. So 20 times 5, that means I need 5 parts, which means 4 lines. 20, 40, 60, 80. %40 are 6th graders. Oh, I need my total. My total is 70. That means 70 has to be cut into 5 equal size parts because this was cut into 5 parts. So you need to do 70 divided by 5 and find your answers. Actually, go like that. It's 14. That would be 28. I could do 14 times 3 to get the next one. 42. I could add another 14. 56. So how many are 6th grade? Well, 6th grade is 40%, so 28. 7th grade are 20. Oh, I did that wrong. Oh, 20% are 14. And then how many are 8th grade? The rest is 8th grade. Well, my total is 70. So I'm thinking 28 plus 14 plus mystery number equals 70. So I could subtract to find that. 70 minus 28 equals 42 minus 14 equals 28. And that should make sense because if I do 20 and if I do 40 more, which is 20, 40, I'm here. That means I have 20, 40 left. So how many are 8th grade is 40%, because we already know that 40% is 20. Okay. And that brings us to lesson 13. Now we're thinking of what if we just do fractions instead of numbers? And a lot of our basic percents or basic fractions work really well. So if we look at this double number line, 50% is always half of the number. So no matter what this number is, 50% is half of it. If my number was 82, 50% or half of 82 is 41 kilometers. Now we've talked about half a lot. Half of something is the same as saying divided by 2, or 82 divided by 2, which means half. 25% is 1/4 of a number. You say fourth. You could say half. And here's our multiply by 1/4, which is the same as 40 divided by 4, or 40 divided by 4. 75% is 3/4 of a number. So if 75% of 1 pound, it would be 3/4 of a pound. 3/4 is a little more confusing because you would have to, you can multiply by 3 and then you divide by 4. Let's look at the next one. So 10%, you think about how many tens are in 100. 10% is always a 1/10 of a number, or 1/10. You can see that right there. 10% of 95 is 9.5. So you can say it's 95 divided by 10, or 95 divided by 10. Okay. You could also, let's see, if you want 70%, if you know your 10%, which we know right here it's 9.5. For example, if I wanted this one to be 70%, well, 10 times 7 is 70. So 9.5 times 7 would be, it would be 66.5% on this problem. 66.5 would be 70% of 95. If we want 70% of 30 days, we times by 7/10. 30 times 7 over 10. Remember, use your invisible 1, multiply straight across. 30 times 7 is, well, 3 times 7 is 21 with a 0. Divide by 10 gives us 21 days. Okay. Now, some of you are going to start to pick up on, if you divide by 10 on top, you divide by 10 on bottom, you get straight across to the answer of 21. Next problem, 10% off sale of laptop computers. If you save $35, what's the original cost? Well, let's just set this up. 0%, 100%. I don't know the total. This is what I'm looking for this time. But I know my 10% is 35. So think about how many tens it takes to get to 100. So this is times 10, which means this is times 10. 35 times 10 is 350. The original cost was $350. And that is our last lesson. Good job, guys.